Hey guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube, and thank you for watching. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sean. I am Reserved Investments. I am a consultant in the antiques and collectibles trade. Today we are going to be talking about graded video games. Yes, the wonderful market that pretty much collapsed. And for those of you that don't believe me, if you look at the results of the November 4th and November 5th, 2022, Heritage Video Game Signature Auction, Auction 7290, you will see that a majority of the items offered did not hit their previous highs once again. This market is on a steady decline. A lot of you guys are asking me, well, Sean, when's it going to hit the capitulation point? When are prices going to stabilize? When can I successfully go back into this market, buy a game that's graded, and know it's not going to drop further? Well, let me answer this question for you in a nutshell. First, this is a very hard question to answer. Reason being is, number one, this is a highly speculative market. I told you that even before the WADA fiasco. I said to you guys, if you go back and watch my earlier videos, that this market was very speculative, very volatile, and very new. And there were people that used to come in the comment section that used to cut me up, and some of those particular individuals had YouTube channels of their own that never got off the ground because, again, they know shit about the antiques and collectibles trade, but I won't attack any of them directly. I'm going to take the high road on that. But just understand that this market is extremely speculative, and as a result, speculative markets, by and large, are very volatile. The other point you got to understand is, unfortunately, this market was manipulated. Now, full disclosure here, believe it or not, if WADA would not have come along, if certain individuals wouldn't have allegedly manipulated this particular market, the market for graded video games could have actually slowly grown over time and actually became something in like 10 years' time. Instead, what happened is this particular actions of certain grading companies, certain individuals, certain market manipulators, certain auction companies, it actually hurt the market over the long term. Because now, over the next 5, 10, even 15 years, people are going to look back and they're going to go, oh, graded video games. Yeah, they really manipulated the hell out of that market. I don't know. That left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want to get back into that market again. And some of you that are sustaining these heavy losses in this market, let's be honest, you did sour on this market. I get emails from a lot of these people that tell me, hey, Sean, here's the actual invoice from this auction company. I paid the high price. That particular game hit back in 2020, 2021. And now if I go to sell, I lost 50, 60, 70, in some cases 80 grand. You guys did not help the overall fan base that really loved these items because a lot of them are really hurting right now as a result of these actions. Number three, we don't know how much supply is still out there. Remember, guys, one of the very definitions of a speculative market is that it's very new. You know, I don't know if you guys saw this, and I have yet to put out a video on this. Even in vintage Star Wars collecting, Morphe Auctions posted to their Facebook page that they found pretty much a warehouse collection of a lot of vintage 12 and 21 back action figures from the original Kenner Star Wars line. And they're going to be auctioned off through Morphe Auctions in the beginning of next year. So if they're still finding stuff like that out there, we don't know how many copies of these video games from the 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s are just sitting out there ungraded at present time. And this is something that a lot of you don't want to realize. There are warehouse finds of this stuff that come up every now and then. The market is extremely risky. So the answer is, in a nutshell, it's very hard for me to tell you when we're going to hit the capitulation point on this particular market. And if anybody answers differently, I really want to warn you that you should take that answer with a grain of salt, because they obviously do not understand economics, business, and finance, and they sure as hell do not understand the antiques and collectibles trade. You know, with a market like this, the thing that I worry about is now that demand is dropping, if supply increases, prices are going to fall even lower. And that's a basic economic truth. You can apply that to anything. You can apply that to pork rinds, for crying out loud. If demand decreases and supply goes up, what happens? Basic economics, guys. The price falls. And that's what really concerns me about this market. Now, getting to today's video, I do want to go over 3 games here that did sell in the latest Heritage Signature Auction that was held on November 4th, November 5th of this year, just to show you how bad it is. Because a lot of you guys, I don't think, believe how much money has been lost in this market as the market manipulators, the market makers, all these people that were hyping this up All of them pulled out, and now the market is in a proverbial free fall, even at present time. So here's first game we're going to talk about, Pokemon Sapphire. Pokemon Sapphire came out in 2002 for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. This particular copy sold on November 4th, 2022, and it was graded by Wada Games in 9.8 condition with an A+ seal rating. For those of you that want to look this up on the Heritage site, it is lot number 28144. This particular item sold for $9,600. Now, I know some of you that may not be aware of what happened in this market. You may go, well, gee, that's pretty good for a video game that came out 20 years ago. Well, here's the problem. Back on Sunday, April 4th, 2021, this same game, same condition, Pokemon Sapphire version, Wada Games 9.8, A+ seal rating, sold for $50,400. So literally, in a little over a year, we went, a little under a year, yeah, a little over a year, we went from $50,400 all the way down to $9,600. Now, if you bought an investment, whether it be a mutual fund, an ETF, a stock, a bond, whatever it is, and it went from $50,000 all the way down to $9,600, would you really have faith in that particular market that you bought into? Or would you really just go, well, I wanted to own it. I don't care how much it went down in value. Be honest with me. You would be feeling the pain. And that's where a lot of great video game collectors out there are fooling themselves. Because I have people that come to me that have no skin in the game, meaning they didn't buy any of these items. And they're telling me, well, maybe the person that bought it just wanted to own it. You do understand, wealthy people that have the money to pay this much for a video game don't think that way. I am one of those people, guys. I could go to the market right now and I could pay $50,000 for a collectible if I wanted to at any given time. Guess what? The reason why I don't do that on a regular basis is for reasons like this. If that particular item goes from $50,000 and drops all the way down to $9,600 in less than a year, how many times do you think I could reasonably do that before I filed bankruptcy? That's the way you guys got to look at these markets. But let's continue because there's more here. Let's look at lot number, let me see where the lot number is here, 28087. That is a copy of Zelda 2 Gold Edition, The Adventure of Link in Wada Games 9.8 with an A seal rating. This is an early production game, and it was released in 1988. This particular game sold on November 4th, 2022 for $15,600. Now again, if you're new to this market, well, Sean, back in 1988, that game sold for $49.99 at retail. Buying it for $49.99 at retail and selling it for $15,600, that seems like a tremendous return. Shit, I'm educated in finance. I agree with you. Here's the problem, though. Back on Sunday, October 31st, 2021, Halloween, no less, a particular copy of this same game sold in Wada 9.8 with an A+ seal rating for $102,000. So a copy with just a plus extra seal rating sold for $102,000, and on November 4th, a copy without that plus sold for $15,600. Do you honestly think the person that paid $102,000 for this game is going, you know what? At least my copy, the seal, is an A+ rather than an A. I assure you, this person is hurting right now. And that's what you guys got to understand, dude. This is not funny. This is very sad for the people that bought into this hype. There's a lot of people that are coming to me right now. You know, guys, I try to not bring my own emotions into this, but there are people that are emailing me, telling me, Sean, the antiques and collectibles trade is a scam because they did something stupid. During the pandemic, when we were all locked indoors, they paid a premium price for a sports card, for a video game, for a Pokemon card, for a comic book, for a Funko Pop, whatever it was. And now the price dropped 10, 20, 30, 40, some cases 50, 60%. And now they're coming to me and they're going, Sean, the antiques and collectibles trade is a scam. No, Timmy, the antiques and collectibles trade is not a scam. You have to understand how speculative markets work. All markets in the antiques and collectibles trade, as well as cryptocurrency, are based off the greater fool theory. You are hoping when you buy that particular item, when you go to sell it back into the marketplace, somebody's willing to pay more than what you originally paid for it so that you can make a profit. There's no guarantee that that is going to happen. And that bodes for antiques as well as collectibles. So even if you're buying rare coins, if You're buying high-end pieces of art on the antique side of the equation, it doesn't matter. It's all speculative, guys. I'm going to give you one more example before I end this video because, again, I'm beating a dead horse to death by doing these videos. Lot number 28137. Mario Kart 64. Wada Games 9.6 with an A+ seal rating. Came out in 1996. This particular item sold for $26,400 on November 4th, 2022. I already know what some of you are going to say. Gee, 1996, kept factory sealed. What did it sell for back in 1996? $59.99, maybe $49.99, and now somebody got $26,400 for it? That's a great return, Sean. You're 100% correct, but here's the problem. Back on, going all the way back to Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, a copy of Mario Kart 64, Wada Games, graded 9.6 condition with an A++ seal rating, sold for $144,000. Do you honestly think the person that paid $144,000 for this game is really happy logging on the Heritage going, well, gee, this one sold for $26,400. And I already know what critics are going to say. Sean, if you look at the one that sold for $144,000, it's an A++ seal rating. It's still a 9.6, guys. This one here is an A+ seal rating. That extra plus is not worth well over $100,000. You guys have got to learn that you are fooling yourself if you claim you understand these markets and you bought into this hype. I really hate to say it. Again, a lot of you guys have a lot to learn. You need to either study economics, business, and finance. You also then need to study how the antiques and collectibles trade really operates. These are unregulated markets. These are very easy markets to manipulate. And in most cases, in the current economic and political environment we find ourselves in, if you literally do something stupid in these markets, no one's coming to bail you out. Remember, a lot of you guys go on political forums and the like. I'm not going to get involved in this because I am on the left side of the political equation. But a lot of you guys champion free market, unregulated markets. And then when you get slapped in the face with a stale donut, you guys then bitch, well, how come the government's not coming to bail me out? They bail out the billionaire class. They bail out the banks. They bail out Wall Street. You can't have it both ways, guys. You have to understand that Wall Street is a heavily regulated market. Wall Street has procedures and regulations in place to prevent certain things from happening, especially since 2008, 2009. You know, a lot of you guys that don't like unregulated, that don't like regulated markets, you also don't like the Fed. I really hate to tell you, the Fed serves a very, very useful purpose for people that invest in regulated markets, meaning real estate, Wall Street, and the like. You got to understand that, guys. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say with this. Please learn from this experience. And I really want to say this. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I know that the people that hate me probably don't watch my content towards the end, but if you were somebody that bought into the hype of this market, even if you came to me and you said, you know what, Sean, you're an asshole. I don't like you. I don't like the comment or the commentary that you're putting out. I don't agree with you on this market. Even if you were somebody that did that, and right now you are losing substantial amounts of money in graded video games or even cryptocurrency or any other markets I talk about on this channel, my heart goes out to you. I do have empathy towards you as a human being living in a capitalistic society where, I hate to say this, money is pretty much everything. But on the same token, you need to learn from this. There's something that you're missing that allowed you to be led astray into this market. And as a result, your financial returns, or I should say a lack of financial returns, is showing that you don't know what you think you know. And that's what's hard. It's really hard when you're somebody who doesn't know what you don't know. And that's something I am going to be doing a video on at a later time. You know, even me, some of the times that I make a mistake in the antiques and collectibles trade or in my personal life, it's because I don't have all the information that I think I have. And that makes it very difficult. And this goes back to a quote that was said by Neil deGrasse Tyson, where he says, sometimes you have to make a decision where you think you have all the information you need to be right, when the information you're missing, that if you had that information, you would know that you're not right. And that really applies to investing. It applies to collectibles. It applies to life. It applies to relationships. It applies to business decisions. Hell, it even applies to health decisions as well, guys. Learn from this. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.